guys? It's Ricky, and on this particular episode, this is gonna be a more of a response episode. Uncle Solomon of Solomon's Temple did an interview with Babu Phiri, and they were discussing some stories and whatnot. I did not watch those videos, and I was gonna watch them later on, because if you check on the channel, I was doing two different stories and stuff like that, more based on African spirituality. That's the subject that I was kind of focused on. And so I got a text message. You wanted to kind of lay the story and give ground on everything that was said and everything. Do you want to greet the viewers?
You viewers of what church reality show?
Yeah, anybody that's watching this video.
No, hi.
All right, this is video from here. This video, I haven't watched, like I said. I haven't watched those two videos. And so I was going to watch them publicly. I was going to watch the interviews that Solomon did maybe later on. But after you sent me a message, I was like, I'm not going to watch it still.
Okay.
So that you will have the freedom of...
To relate the story.
To relate the story without me interfering into what I heard or what I knew. This is kind of a very personal story between you and him, or whatever is going on over there. Thuli, who is Thuli? Let's start there before we go into to that response and all that.
Okay, my name is Thuli. I've got a mobile ministry that I'm running called Seed of a Woman.
Okay.
I'm currently on a tour of something that as well a lot of people are questioning, which are Pajama Night prayers for ladies only. Right? So they're like, no, this woman, this is not, it's something unusual. Why are you doing this? Why pajamas? Why ladies only? And why vele are they all nights, right?
They're all night
prayers.
Events. Okay.
Yes, we do all night prayers. And the reason it's all night, I wanted to break free from the normal where someone is standing on the pulpit, you hear what the person says and you go home. You still have a lot of questions, either on the doctrine or on the word they preach, or you have personal problems, but there is no stage where there is no space you can come forth.
Okay.
It's even worse. Now currently, a lot of women are going through a lot, and that lot, they're being put through by servants of God.
Okay.
So servants of God won't give you a space to come and speak, to say, okay,
in pajamas.
How is my other colleague in abusing you? They won't give you that platform. So the reason I chose pajamas, I feel like anytime I get home, the first thing I do is take off my wig, take off my shoes, and wear pajamas. And I feel free. So the reason I allow the ladies to wear pajamas, it's for them to be home.
But it's ladies only.
It's ladies only.
Okay.
So, and we don't.
It's like a girls' night out.
It's a girls' perfect. You put it so perfectly. So it's exactly that. We have snacks, we have food, we'll eat chocolates, we'll just have a girls' night time. And we get there and we talk about very personal things. A lot of people normally ask, why don't you ever upload? Even during the night, we don't take videos of other people because they are vulnerable. Yes, it's a space of being vulnerable. Girls come, women come. I do this with my co-host, and our last event, which was on Friday in Pretoria, she said to me, I was getting ready, and she said, you're going to be shocked. There's no young people. I was like, what?
Only the older.
Some are like in their 50s and 40s, and there's like a few young people. And I said, Promise, what are you going to say to them? She said, the Lord has prepared us, right?
Okay.
So when we started, it was just a bunch of young girls, and we were sharing things that we, at our age group, early 30s and about 40 are going through. But now, women in their 50s are joining us. And it's such a great space because even when the younger ones share their stories, the older ones are there to help. We talk about men, we talk about business, we talk about church. And the funny thing is, in these night prayers, God has helped me a lot with women who have stayed away from church.
Okay.
When they text me, the first thing they would say is, I've not been to church in 5 years. I've not been to church in 10 years. But when I saw this, I felt like it's something that I can belong to.
When did you... Okay. When did you come to salvation?
I got saved in 2011 at the stadium where Pastor Chris was preaching at the Night of Bliss. I remember it was the 3rd of March. Yeah, so I got saved there.
You originally from the city?
Seventh-day Adventist.
Oh, you seventh?
Yes. I'm the only person in my family, and
Who's
they're still
left
praying for me,
to come
saying
back.
the demons have entered her, and we are praying for her to come back. But I feel like I've got nothing against Seventh-day Adventist. Even this weekend, I was there. This is just my own path.
Okay.
I think every person, you have your own path.
You have
And
your
for
own journey
me,
too.
ukusindiswa and being in these charismatic and Pentecostal, it's my path.
It's your journey. So when you, what took you to Night of Bliss from seventh day? Like, what was the thing? Was there a friend that invited you, or was it?
That time, I was studying at Rosebank College, and I was doing radio ministry. Like, we're having radio ministry. I was in the SCO. And these people,
college did you- what
in
university?
Rosebank College, I was doing my public relations diploma then. So these Christ Embassy people, bazangama,
Pamphlets. and
yes, the pamphlets. And I would see Pastor Chris a lot on TV. But any Seventh Adventist person would understand we have no interest in whatever.
Anything outside.
Like, no, we are taught the Sabbath, no earrings, no, that was my life, to say no makeup, nothing. It's just you, Sabbatha. But I just found interest to say, you know what, let me see, man, what this is all about, right?
So you went out of curiosity.
I went out of curiosity, and I went with a group of my other friends as well. And the funny thing is, Pastor Chris ministered, and by the time he said, if there's anyone here, you've heard about Jesus, we're in a stadium like Soccer City. I did not even look at my friends. I did not look at who was going. I ran down the stairs and I found myself, Jay.
So when you were seventh day,
Yes.
you can't recall a moment when you came to salvation. It was just a family.
Yes, all my family, my great-grandparents, my great-great, like everyone was there. So I thought in Sindisiwe because I was born in Seventh Adventist. I was
Please.
a pathfinder.
Please, if you are in a church and stuff like that, and you don't remember your moment of coming to salvation, please, you might want to
Yes.
question, because that's a very important.
Yes. But for me, I thought it's okay. I got baptized in Seventh Adventist.
They never asked you, are you saved? Did you believe what we believe?
No, Tina,
The
I
creed?
just thought that's it. My family's here. I was a pathfinder. I was an
What's a
ambassador.
pathfinder? The people that visit people.
No, a pathfinder is in the seventh day. We go to church on Sabbath, which is Saturday. On Sunday, you go. It's young people from maybe the ages of 9 till about 18ish, 20ish. You go there, nizwenza notes, you study the word. You've got your pathfinder's uniform, sort of like drum majorettes.
Okay,
you
yeah.
learn to train those things, or left, right. Then, it's, yeah.
Ordanyana, kind
Yeah,
of like.
something where they teach you, and then you go to camps. Mom Sabata, when schools close, we know that we go to a church camp. So me having done all of that, I thought, I'm cool.
You're
Like,
cool. Only
me,
when you heard Pastor Chris say, hey,
if you are here. But funny enough, on the day I got saved, even as we're driving into the stadium, something felt different.
excite me, you're this.
There was this thing in the atmosphere. I was excited. That's why when he said, if there's anyone here and you want to know Jesus,
You just sprinted.
I sprinted. I left my friends. The stadium is so big. I never even thought, hey, guys, wait for me when we are done.
Awuhambe nomuntu lapho.
I just ran, and it was such a beautiful feeling. For me, I never knew what is speaking in tongues.
You
I was
experienced it there.
Immediately, I did my salvation prayer, and Pastor Chris just said, receive the Holy Spirit. I started speaking in tongues. It was something, as I speak about it now, that feeling is just coming back.
You get your chills.
Yes, it was something different, right? Because Tine Sabata, we there's no thing yokti wamba moya. Siamba with the law,
Yeah.
the word that we are taught. We've got our books. There's books you read the Bible, that's it. There is there's no prophet. I think the only prophet we've had in 7th day was Ellen G.
Ellen
White.
herself.
Yes, so besides that, you cannot say you're a prophet. I didn't know of apostles. I knew Snabefundisi pastor.
Interesting.
Then that's it.
And so your interaction with the content in 7 Day, do you remember any particular moment where you were like experienced like an excitement over the content or sharing it, or did you go on any runs when they do the visits? Or
For me, I know that after church, like we'd be in church the whole day. So some Saturdays we'd attend till 12. When we're done, siendlini, if kuyadliwa, you eat, at 2 you go back to church, you pray, and then you go again, you visit abantu, you go nyobashumayeza, or mama badala who couldn't come and have umtendeleko, you go there, you give them Holy Communion. That was it. I think I started being active in God's work after I got this salvation.
when you went to the Nights of Plates,
Yes.
that experience.
After that, I'm telling you, I was crazy. I would say I went through some few years of abnormality because I was that person. I was in train ministry, and
What's that? What's train ministry?
you know, there's this people who commute via taxis, other people commute via my train, and people who go to work with trains would tell you there's church in the trains.
Oh yeah, you were those people that
Just would preach.
Ujesu.
Yes, I was too excited. I just felt like I can't keep quiet. I had a guy, best friend of mine. We're still friends now, Upuluso. We went through the same thing, like
the excitement
the
for the
excitement
gospel
of salvation, would preach in the train. You know, I had that thing, even if I'm in a taxi and I see an ambulance, I would pray, Father, in the name of Jesus.
The person who's
the
inside
person
there.
who's inside. God, they're not gonna die. You know, when you go through
I know that experience. Your first love. What?
Yes, it was crazy. And I was, you know, in Christ Embassy, it's when you say you are sick, then we'd say, no, mighty, auguli. You know, I went through that stage of saying, even if you don't have money, I would say, you've got money. Yeah, you're rich. You know, I went through years of being like that. And I think over time, I don't know, certain or what, nje, uba calm again, you become sober. And then
I don't think it's adapting. I think he has that excitement of that's why he calls it first love.
the first love, yeah.
Is that there is an excitement to Ankara, the Spirit ministers to us that we are the sons of God. So now when that identity, when you find that identity, I think it does something to you.
That's true.
You know, it makes you feel a certain way. I mean, like when I got born again in 2009. And I did Bible studies for 7-8 months with the church that I was in, which was Mount Calvary in Berea. And by 2010, I had started doing evangelism in school. I started doing apologetics and what. Even if I didn't know what I was talking about.
Yeah, me too.
I would find videos that were talking on a certain topic. I'll go play it for the kids, play it via laptop, whatnot, and all those things. So that excitement, there is a period where it dies down, but I don't think it's dying down. Is that you start to get too wise for following God. For me, it was people saying, do you know that preachers are judged harshly? I was like, there's harsh judgment for preachers. I don't want nothing to do with that. So I distanced myself because of the idea of applying head knowledge to things.
Yeah, that's right. And I also think, you know, when I was in school, I had a lot of that because of the company that I kept.
Yeah.
I think as well, the people you fellowship with, the people you spend time with have a lot in that, because I stayed Minanje with people who were crazy like me. That's it. I would steal carpets from home, tables, because if I wanted everything to be a church, I went through that thing. I would take my mom's cups, whatever. Mag to conferences on you see. But once you move away from people like that, after I did PR, I felt like, no man, I'm not into PR. And I studied beauty. And now I became self-aware to say, okay, this is, you know, you self-aware now. You don't want to do embarrassing things. You feel like some of the things.
You start to dress a certain way. You feel a certain way. You value, you present.
Start dating now. We are jola. And you're like, you know. Doing, because it's a level of we don't see things the way the world sees us,
Okay.
and you do things that are strange, because even now there's certain people that I look at and I'm like, are you sure you're okay? Kahle, kahle in the head, because I would say you get corrupted. Truthfully, along the way, and there's people who come with doctrines and they would warn you to know, they would warn you, like you say, even not just about your calling, but as well about being saved, about the people you follow.
You sure?
Yes, about the people you follow. Do you know one he's got a snake? You're like, you get corrupted. That's why I normally say to people, once you get salvation, hide it. Keep it like a child, protect it, because you will get corrupted.
Okay.
And at that time, I was modeling. I was into things now that I felt like, no man, I'll come back to this.
You'll do it later.
Yeah, let me focus on this.
When you also do business?
I do business, yes.
And what's your business focus on?
Beauty.
Okay, so the very same.
Yes. Okay, for me, my main income, I would say, is selling cars. I was working full time for BMW, but now I just send clients, and I send clients now to different dealerships, because I've got a lot of clientele of people who want cars. But I've decided. So
you consult for them.
Yes, I've decided now I want free time to do my business and ministry, but also not losing the income.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
and so that's a full-time consultant to say you have a car, this is a car, good reference. Also, by the way, we are shooting this video at Saint Studios. Thank you very much for having us. I almost forgot to say.
Yeah, so that's what I do. I supply weaves, even for people who want to get into the business of selling weaves.
So then, throughout these years of you doing business, your journey to salvation and so forth, were you born in the city, or were you originally?
Okay, my dad is from the Eastern Cape. My mom is from this side.
What are you? You're at Xhosa?
I'm Xhosa.
Okay. And so you grew up
this side.
This side.
Yes, but we'd go home a lot. Noville Makaya. Every holidays
there's
go
a visit you
home.
have to. You owe it to them.
Yes.
You owe them a visit. And so, through the period of you being here in the city, and in comparison to the life that you see in the village, how do you think you would have been different if you were in the village?
Oh my word! I think I would have been miserable. Honestly, I'm a city girl at heart.
Yeah.
I think that's it. Yeah.
So is it just in comparison to what you do, like business-wise, or your everyday life, or just in the sense of the things that you are constantly active in that you think?
Yes, accessibility. I was working for BMW Polokwane, and in terms of business, there's a lot of things that are in Joburg that I have to access. Sometimes you need a studio quickly. You have to struggle. You don't know who's the person on a studio. You're looking for a printer. You have to struggle. Funumto printer. I'm looking for a wig maker. You see, for me, being in the city, mainly it's for accessibility, being closer to things that my business needs to run.
So, from the thing that I'm trying to go to, by that particular comparison of saying your city, if you were a city person compared to how different were you? Did you switch churches, or did you ever go from 7-day you became a Christ Embassy, or you went and found your own church from that point?
From 7th day, I went to Christ Embassy, because with Christ Embassy, they will hunt you down. You disappear. You can't just go to them.
You received our Jesus.
So they'll call you. They'll be constant in their caring. After the night of Bless the Night prayer, they visited me at home. They found out, is my mom saved? The pastor came, like the Umdala wa khona came to check on us. So even thinking of saying I won't go back was not even an option, because these people are already so caring. Why would I just dump them? Like, it didn't make sense. I was there up until there was some changing of pastors. Church politics, the pastors were changing, nini, akunamfundisi. Then I was like, you know what? Let me just find my own
Your own
path.
thing.
And as well, I think after I got saved, something in me, I never knew about prophetic. Mina, I knew myself as a child who likes to help people. Mina, I'm a person who just rock up with a child after school and explain to my mom, kokwabo bayasokola or whatever, so nze naya pendlini. That's me. I would take clothes. I knew myself just as a helpful person, but I never knew anything about the prophetic or a person can be a prophet. I didn't know that. It's something I never applied.
When does that come?
You know, it's those things that happen as you pray. We are born good. Okay, you dream of things, you'd see things, you think it's your thoughts. Because for me, from my background, we had no strange things like that.
Okay.
Like a pastor, a prophesy or what? No, that was demonic.
That's new.
That's no.
You're being weird.
Yeah, that's weird. What are you trying to do? So I would get those things, like even if we had prayer groups, you'd pray with someone and you'd feel like you know something about them. Those coups that
You're
say
not sure.
no. Yeah, no. Let me tell you one funny testimony I had. I was writing exams. I think on that day I was writing media.
Don't tell me you got answers.
No, I didn't get answers, but somehow the train got stuck between two places, like going to Joburg.
Yeah.
So we could not get off and the train was stuck. And me and my friend were there like, today we're going to test God. We will see. And I said, that exam will wait for me. Can I tell you something? The train got unstuck and we got off in Braamfontein station and we walked to Rosebank. As I'm getting into the gate, I see my classmates coming out. I'm like, Aibo, was the test that is you guys are done? And they said, no, the wrong papers were sent. So the media exam got cancelled. I think it's things like that got me excited with God to say, God is mindful.
To that extent.
To that extent.
That I'm not missing an exam.
Yes. So working with God, small, little exciting things would happen where you see, no, man, these are not normal occurrences. This is God.
And from that period, when you had those period of excitement and seeing God in this area of your life, where does the recent story come from? Like, okay, no, I understand now. You mentioned the car thing. This story that's now being talked about, because I saw one video on this entire thing, which is the video that Madam Speaker made.
Okay.
And even that video, you sent it to me. And so I was like, oh, okay. So I got the layout of the video and whatnot and all that kind of jazz. When does this story, where does it start? Where does this, me as a person, if you are like me who is not aware of anything here, what is the first thing for a person to understand out of this? Because
Yeah.
we are now in the story now. Where does this whole thing come about from your memory?
Okay, it was last year, I think around June, right?